We have been so blessed to have a group of people to sponsor a unique event called the National Cowboy Portrait Gathering in Elko, Nevada. Every year it brings so much joy and pleasure to folks like you, not only when they come to this auditorium, but the product that's developed and processed and spread all over this continent. We do everything we can to retain the image of our beloved Western way of life and the people who make it such a wonderful place to live and such a wonderful lifestyle to be a part of. Every once in a while, the Lord calls somebody home that we'd rather have around for a while. They tried a little bit faster than we wanted them to. Larry McWhorter was raised on ranches in the Texas Panhandle. He attended high school in Canadian and graduated from Clarendon College. He then spent the vast majority of his adult time working for big ranching outfits and living the cowboy life. Larry's father, Frankie McWhorter, is a great cowboy and one of the best horsemen in the Panhandle country. As a young man, he went on the road with Bob Wills and his Texas Playboys and played fiddle for him. Thousands of people in the Panhandle of Texas have burned the soles off of thousands of pairs of boots dancing to the fiddle music of Frankie McWhorter. Larry inherited his father's musical talent. He became an outstanding Western swing vocalist and was a welcome addition to any Western swing band, including mine, with his saxophone and clarinet. In 1989, Larry began writing cowboy poetry. His experiences as a working cowboy provided a rich treasury of memories and life from a cowpuncher's point of view. Larry's style of poetry puts the reader or listener in the saddle looking at life between the ears of a horse, feeling the bite of a north wind, or witnessing the rise of a spring morning sun. Larry's work received national recognition. He was named Cowboy Poet of the Year by the Academy of Western Artists in 1998. 1999, his album, The Open Gate, received the Academy of Western Artists Poetry Album of the Year award, and his book, Contemporary Cowboy Poetry, received national awards from Western International and the Arizona Book Publishers. Larry left us on March 19, 2003. He left a legacy not only of great Western literature, but a testimony to a life lived for the glory of God. Larry was extremely proud of his daughters, Kimber and Abby, and was terribly dedicated to his darling wife, Andrea. And tonight we have a young man who grew up in the Panhandle country and has become a tremendous reciter and poet all on his own. And I'd like for you to make welcome Mr. Oscar Auker.
I always, when I first decided to start memorizing and performing cowboy poetry, I didn't really know who all there was, to memorize. I'd never spent a lot of time around it, but I found a book of Larry's poetry, and I sat down and started to read it, and I really, I got to reading these poems, and I got to thinking, man, he grew up in the same region I did for sure, and man, I know him, and man, I've been to them pens, or rode for that ranch or something like that, and this is Elko, Nevada, and I grew up in the Texas Panhandle, and there's always been sort of a difference of opinion between cowboys up here and cowboys down there, between dallying and tying off when you rope. So Larry wrote this poem. He says he said in his book right before this poem, he said, "I never saw a dally man till I was 11, and I remain uncorrupted today." So, and I was probably about that age when I saw my first dally man, and I actually dally a little bit every once in a while myself, but that's a different matter. So, it's called Cowboy, Count Your Blessings. Two waddies rode together, oh, the western half so great, a buckaroo from Utah and a hen from the Lone Star State. Now, although they were raised different, of friends they were the best, so of each other's tack and ways they often could make jest. Hot debates were often floored of grazing bits or spades, center fire or double rig, leather straps or braids. Each one stands the test of time. Each serves a certain need. Each is worth its weight in gold, they finally both agreed. But the sticky part, as you might guess in talking right and wrong, is whether you should dally up or if you should tie on. Utah says, now crazy fools like you should be kept up in a cage. Why, take your wraps and you, my friend, may see your ripe old age. It's easy on the cattle, it's easy on the horse, and so it stands to reason to be easy on you, of course. Texas says, now, buckaroo, that little spiel was nice, but it don't do cow nor horse no good if you gots to catch 'em twice. I've saved your twine a dozen times, all 60 feet of it. You wasn't criticizing then of that, you must admit. The Far West has big ranges and they mount big crews, but then to work one single baby calf, it takes twice as many men. You've saved my string, says Utah. I must confess it's true, but I'd rather lose 100 ropes than go what you went through. That time old Peaches blowed the cork and wrapped you in the middle, me and my old Shrade Walden got your smart self off the griddle. Cowboy, count your blessings that you didn't buy the farm, and all you got out of that little wreck was that white cast on your arm. Texas grinned. When you cut a man's line, cut it off at the noose. Now, instead of one long, I got two shorts, and neither is much use. And though it's broke, my arm's still here. In 6 weeks it will mend. I still got all my God-give parts, and you can't say that, friend. First time we ever met and I shook hands with you, I noticed your right forepaw was missing a toe or two. You speak of counting blessings, and I think that that's just fine, so I'll keep my horn knot in my rope, 'cause I can still count all of mine.